shape. So carpet in here. This room's not symmetrical, but yes, we could. All right, here comes the next question. Throw the paradigm flyer again, and with two items now struck, what do those two items have in common? How could they be used together to produce a new result? So we need another volunteer to throw the paper airplane for the second time.
I'll do it.
Casey.
Great if you could hit this, because this is what I was trying to hit.
Carpet.
Different
Person.
What do we got? Everyone
Jared.
watch. Oh, ceiling
Oh.
tile.
Wow.
All right.
Ceiling tile.
So here's the question again. Throw the paradigm flyer again, and with two items now struck, what do those two items have in common? Ceiling tiles and carpet.
Noise reduction.
Noise reduction.
Insulation.
Insulation.
Aesthetics.
Yep.
Black.
Usually find them both in a room together.
They cover vertical space, the vertical spaces, or the horizontal spaces.
Yeah. Carpet and ceiling tiles. Anything else have in common?
Get them both in tiles.
Yep. And here we do have at least a rectilinear pattern going in both, if not the same pattern. All right.
Well,
So
that's another thing they can have in common is similarity of patterns,
Yeah.
not just rectangles in this particular instance.
Yeah. That's for sure. So the next question, how could they be used together to produce a new result? So if we combine,
You don't want to do the obvious
New
one.
pattern.
okay, so ceiling tiles on the ground, carpet up top.
I see it.
Remember, it's a backless carpet now.
Yeah. Could be.
I see this pattern on the ceiling.
And in music rooms, choir rooms, you'll often
That's
see
a good
stuff
idea.
padding on the walls
No.
to control that sound.
You make the carpet bouncy so you could throw your pencil at the carpet instead of the ceiling.
I had a new thought.
That would be interesting.
Or a Velcro suit. You stick to the carpet, you stick to the ceiling. Sorry, I didn't say it was a good idea.
No, no. I have no idea.
The kids' playroom, you could carpet the walls so they can just bounce off the walls.
Yeah. Padding on all areas to
Yeah.
throw around.
They've invented that before for sanitariums, I think. Padded rooms, right?
Or kids play.
Those come with a free straitjacket.
Exactly.
It's a bonus.
You could shoot a movie that makes it look like you're actually walking on the ceiling.
There you go.
You make the ceiling out of rubber so when you walk on the carpet it's extremely staticky up there.
Yeah. I'm thinking about your aesthetic of throwing the pencils, where, you know, if you came into a room and it was just a flooring of pencils,
Yeah.
that would be pretty interesting. And they could come in square sections that you could lay out. Just think about the labor that put them all together.
Dartboard.
Yeah. Dartboards, you could print the dartboard on the fabric, stretch it to the panel. You use pencils if you didn't have darts. So other combination uses for ceiling tiles and carpet.
Actually, you could cover the ceiling tiles with carpet to provide a decorative pattern over the sound
Yeah.
baffling.
Yeah. I was just looking at these ceiling tiles, so I'm stretching a little further, but notice there's the lights there. And so the same way that we were talking about first, you know, inverting ceiling to floor, just think about if the lights were on the wall, we talk about turning on the lights, but it would be an interesting turn of phrase if you talk about turning on the wall. So when you walk into a room, the wall just illuminates, which really is kind of like outdoors, where everything is just illuminating at that kind of setting. With film, you can probably speak more intelligently to this. Is this a good idea for picture taking, and it's going to ruin the hard shadows you need? Becky?
I would say art, like cutting them into abstracts and combining the tiles and the carpet, and then making a huge mural on a wall.
Yeah. And even as far as with people wanting recycled uses these days. So what is that material that could, you know, have the same functions of ceiling panels, but we know is plentiful? Can we crush pop bottles to do that? Those could have colors. I guess.
Oh, nothing.
All right. You make it awkward calling it again. What?
I was just thinking about some,
Okay, great.
I gotta go patent it, so I don't wanna say it out loud.
Well, with the new patent
I
law,
was just,
he who discloses first has the rights. Okay, so, you know, it's been all of 10 minutes, and we started off with carpet and ceiling tile. We started getting into what if it's the aesthetic of pencils, what if you bounce and they stick, what if it's turning on the walls, what if it is a combined media of carpet, ceiling, and then art integration. And so the interesting thing where I said we're gonna start over here, we're gonna end up over here. Before you came in tonight, had you ever considered the possibility of building art into your ceiling panels in the ceiling? I hadn't, you know.
Josh has, no. He actually has thought.
All right, well, you know, it's only one guy in the room. And in the same way, you know, even if it's just joking with bounce the pencil, get it up, just that interesting idea of the hexagon of the pencil and that repetition, and could that be a good grid pattern, and we can go 10 minutes in that direction. And so, again, what the Paradigm Flyer does is it allows you to look at objects that you've seen every day, and you have these assumptions, your paradigms, for what they should look like, what they should feel like, what they should do, what they should cost. And if you run through these questions, with any item, we could do a third item in the room, we could start over again and again, you'll end up with that one or two that make you say, wow, I might need to sleep on that. And then the amazing thing about the subconscious and the design process is that if you can get all these conflicting ideas being held in your head at once, then usually when you have the most to do and it's, you know, the least convenient, that's when it strikes. You say, oh, I gotta write that down, that's it. You know, and Nicole here, my wife in the room, she'll tell you that I have the curiosity of a 4-year-old. And so when we were dating, you know, we kind of had these back and forth situations where she'd say, Jared, you do not need to improve a nanosecond out of every single activity of the day. It's okay, just do it. Right? And that's what I do. I spend my life figuring out how to shave seconds off of what you do on a daily basis, what you take for granted. All my consumer products, what they have in common is they deliver efficient pleasure to the masses. You don't necessarily understand that this made your day easier, but as soon as you use it, you don't want to go back. And so, before we were married, because it never would have happened if Nicole didn't see the end result, I would say to her, you know, hey, do you remember a month ago when I was talking about A, B, and C, but if we combine D, E, F, and then remember Z hanging out over here? So I did all that, right? That was the process, and I got, and, oh, I love you. That's brilliant. That's, oh, yes. And so, you know, if she puts up with it long enough, something comes out. So again, tonight, as you see this, I don't want you to think we came away with the world's best consumer product that we have to go out and patent and have to market in 6 months. But so long as you got on a new tangent of thought that you hadn't previously considered, and you can play this game, you know, every morning or every week, plug in different objects. Technically, you don't have to throw the airplane, but it's more fun that way.